Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. I am your host, Anna-Lena, and I'm super happy and grateful to be here with you. Today, I want to share a little bit more about my ongoing human design experiment, which is now a little bit over 5 years. It's incredible how fast time is progressing since I discovered this wonderful system. And one of the things I quickly learned in the beginning that I love to teach. I have always been a very passionate teacher since I was in school. I already helped some other kids with math, and I always got the feedback that I was really good at it. And I also liked it a lot. It came so easy to me. It really energized me. So I just didn't know what I was here to teach, right? And when human design came into my life, I kind of knew. It was almost like I remembered something. And yes, I studied the system, obviously. I read a lot of books, I got certified. But there was something within me that I was just mentioning that I felt like I remembered something. It's that essence, that inner knowing, or whatever that I was gifted to share here in this lifetime. And it had to do with human design. I knew this deep inside. And I quickly realized that the way that I was understanding human design and sharing with others was vastly different from what you read in a lot of traditional human design books. While they were also very, very essential for me as a foundation in the beginning, and I'm super grateful of all this content. And one of the things that I always loved so much about human design is that it gave me this permission slip to do things my own way. I had already been in the entrepreneurial space for several years, and one of the things that kept frustrating me so much was that I found myself over and over again trying to follow somebody else's process, five-step formula, whatsoever. And then I tried it to replicate it, and it wouldn't work. And I felt like a complete failure. And I was like, what's wrong with me? And then I realized there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just supposed to do it my way. I'm here to trust myself. And I get so frustrated at this point. And then I also realized that, if I'm so frustrated about it, maybe some other people experience the same frustration. And of course, that's what I very quickly learned from talking to a lot of people and then also the clients that I attracted that had very, very similar stories. They were like, yeah, I did all this stuff and I followed all the business blueprints and such, only to realize that I have to trust myself. I need to do things in a way that actually feel in alignment with my unique energy. And I was like, I know what you're talking about. Exactly. Let me show you how. I'm not going to show you the exact steps that I have taken. Yeah, it's more about you tuning into your own inner authority. And that's what human design has always been for me. But then I quickly realized at some point that oftentimes the way that human design is being portrayed is actually quite leading to the opposite, where people outsource their own authority. Like, yeah, the system says this says this, and I can't do this. And I was like, hold on, like, this is actually defeating the purpose. This is more contracting. I want to teach this in a very expansive, very empowering way. And so, of course, I started to play with the idea to put a certification out into the world. And I did the first one I did several years ago with one of my wonderful colleagues, and it went really amazing. We already got so much incredible feedback from those that participated. And then eventually, after we decided to go on our own path with our businesses, I had the nudge again. I have to even step bolder into the way that I see human design, the way that I teach it, because I saw such incredible transformation with my clients and also how empowering it was for myself. And then during this journey, I also discovered this whole aspect of astrology behind human design with sidereal astrology. And one of my clients, actually, her name is Marie, and you will get to enjoy a beautiful conversation with her in just a little while. And she brought it up one day in one of our calls, and I responded very strongly with my body. There was just something there. And I went into the journey, and some of you that have been following me along, you will know that I now practice human design and I can use tropical astrology. That's fine. Right now, I'm more and more leaning into true sidereal just because of what my clients have been asking me for and the type of alignment that I'm experiencing in my own life, right? I don't want to say one is right or wrong. I can just tell you that this is what feels more aligned for me at this point. And I'm actually inviting you to explore two perspectives. And it has opened up so much possibilities for me, also for my clients, because just like I felt very constricted by some of the traditional teachings in the beginning of human design, again, that was kind of a frustration for myself. Then again, what you're frustrated with is often what other people are frustrated with as well. And people reached out to me like, oh my God, thank you so much for talking about it because something didn't feel right here and now it makes sense. And it was all just falling into places. Also, the way that I do readings is very, very different than, what many people may think it should look like, because it's not what you read in the books, right? It's really intuitively tuning into the energies in a particular chart. So with that, eventually I took the leap of faith and I launched another human design certification, this time a teacher training and certification with a focus on your intuition and really doing it in your way, because I truly believe that this wisdom is so groundbreaking and life-changing and empowering for people that we need more humans to get this out into the world and in your own unique way, right? We are here to change things. We're here to evolve what has been originally taught in a certain way, right? And so without further ado, I am now opening up the stage for a wonderful interview that I had with Dr. Marie Weitbrecht. She took the certification this round, and she already had taken the previous certification. And I'm so thankful also for her input with the True Sidereal conversation. And I think it's just a wonderful story also to tell you guys, because one of the things that also human design brought to my attention is that how important storytelling is in general for us humans, and especially in my chart, both in my tropical chart and also in my true sidereal chart, I have a lot of storytelling energies. And I always find that when I hear stories from people, I can really connect, and I also start to understand things so much better just when I'm sharing something intellectually. So with that, I hope you enjoy our conversation. Welcome, everyone. I have the beautiful Dr. Marie Weitbrecht here with me. She is also part of the certification. And before we begin, Marie, thank you for taking the time to have a little chat with me about the certification.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So my first question is, why did you decide to join the certification?
I was just reflecting this moment. I think I had just had a reading with you because you and me we have a bit of a history with the True Sidereal. I don't think I was the one. I was the one who pointed it out to you that there is such thing as sidereal. That was maybe 3 years ago. Oh no, Did we say how long ago that
I think it
was?
was like about,
2 years
as we were
ago.
recording this, like 2 years ago. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And so, and what happened is that I was kind of intrigued by the sidereal, and then you took the ball and you ran with it in a time where I didn't have time to go deeper, and you went all the way into mastering the zodiac and all your work you did with them with the astrology and so on. And then I kind of went back and I did the certification before. That's maybe important to know.
Yeah.
A different certification. I did a human design certification with you that started in 2022, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
And that ran for a year. And when it was finished, we had this conversation about like, is there actually this? Or like, what's with this sidereal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, wait, or something like that. And then a few months later, or maybe, yeah, I don't even like, maybe even a year in between or longer. I don't have the exact time frame, but I went back to you and wanted a reading on my true sidereal chart because you went then and figured it all out, how to calculate it and so on. And then there was, yeah, a way to calculate that was different to what we had before with
Mm-hmm.
there was this cosmic human design and so on. There were the different
Yeah.
stages. And so we had the reading, and I was so like, whoa, yes, this is me. And it was so beautiful. I was so impressed, by the way, how you didn't, how human design is so often taught. Not that I perceived you like that before, but you really didn't put me into any box. But, and you didn't even start with, oh, you are this type and you're this profile, but you started with, okay, here's the center of the conscious sun, and let's talk about that. And you went with the gene keys, with the what you call genius coins,
Mhm.
and that just like, wow, it resonated so much. And so then we had this reading, and you were promoting the certification. And I remember I was folding laundry, and I was listening to some recording from your True Sidereal Summit, I think. And then I was like, oh, but I want to learn from, I want to learn more. I want to learn this. Like,
Mhm.
I think it's this special way you read a chart intuitively by, yeah, not by not putting people in boxes first, but by really starting with the gates that call your attention.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's long story short. But that's why I joined the certification. I think I joined it like last minute, and you were like laughing, and oh, it's already almost closed. I open it again for you. Wait.
Yeah, I still remember exactly where I was down in Miami when I got your message. And it was so unexpected. It was so beautiful because I really enjoyed our session together. And I remember when you told me after how amazing it was, I was like, ah, this is beautiful. And really, our interaction has been such a big foundation of why this program came out into the world. So for me, having you even be part of this cohort, it was just such an honor. So thank you for the whole backstory for everyone. Now, of course, this next question, maybe you already answered a little bit. Like, what made you decide to take this certification? Because as you know, there's a lot of human design certifications out there. What's
And
the,
I already had one
yeah,
from you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's because I always look at my mentors and see where they are at and whether they keep going or not. It's not like that I'm like looking and see, ooh, I'm judging them, are they growing or not? But I just, that's just on my radar. What are they doing? How
Mhm.
are they changing? And sometimes it really lights me up to see someone, wow, it's mostly it's women. She's going in that direction. Oh wow, I feel a pull there. Or wow, she's really lit up here. And so I always choose by energy and by what I really, yeah, by energy and by what where I feel a pull. And I could sense that, okay, you're right now, you're the only one in the world who can explain and who is on the cusp of this evolution of even this whole software maze that you were going through. Yeah. And I was feeling you were really at the pulse of it. And I clearly didn't have time to do anything, but I like to dive into it deeply, and I sensed that you were,
Mm,
and so it was clear I had like I have to be there.
yeah, I love that. Perfect. And so far, as you have been going through the certification, what has been your favorite part of it? I mean, it can be some of the content, it can be the community aspect. Like, what's the one thing where you're like, that's the best?
I have truly never, and I've taken a lot of online educations and mentorings and so on. I've never seen such an active community in any course. I mean, there's the Telegram group. There's almost every day someone messaging and or someone asking about a chart and so on, and also sharing different angles of what they're learning and so on. And I have not been such an active part of it, but what I really love is to be in a room with people who also seem like there seem to be a lot of people who are also very much on the pulse of it in also very professional astrologers, and so that's just very unique to me. Yeah, that it's I find it very, very high level. And then I'm surprised that even if I didn't show up for some calls and so on, someone just says to me, yeah, you were this and that profile in the last chart, right? And I was like, wow, you remember that. And it's so, I mean, everyone's where they are at, of course, and it's totally different levels, not in comparison, but like just where they are at with their what they're interested in and which pulse they're on, but
Yeah.
it seems they're all on a kind of a pulse that is important, and that's very special.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So,
I'm almost like, can we please keep this group?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna think about it. I have some ideas already. So awesome. No, it's really magical. I have to say that. Been enjoying it a lot because, yeah, you can take a course and never talk to a person, but to really engage with humans and support each
Yeah.
other. And I have to say that you guys are amazing, all of you. It's such a bliss, and I feel really honored to guide this community, but also see all of you grow has been an immense pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so amazing what happens in these calls. I mean, it's sometimes it's like you just get a reading on another aspect of something, and it's like, wow, okay, great, and something new is unlocked. So
Mm.
there's so much, yeah, there's so much that's unlocking in the conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really beautiful because it shows also, I mean, a reading is obviously amazing, but as over time we go into different layers, and then because you guys have these aha moments, and that takes me now to my next question to you, which is really about you and your own evolution. Like, what do you feel like are the most important internal psychological, spiritual, or emotional shifts that you have experienced during this time we have spent together so far in this intuitive human design certification?
Hmm. That's a great question.
Yeah. Like pausing for a moment. Take your time.
I think, I mean, I've had this other certification. I've worked with you before. I've studied human design, but I think it's only now that I'm really starting to decondition, especially around pressure from outside, pressure from society, from other people, what I think other people want from me. There were still layers I didn't even see.
Mm,
So, yeah, and I must say, probably I was, no, not probably. I guess I was in a constant state of stress, and
hmm
I'm now getting out of it, and it has huge impact. It has a huge impact on everything in my life. And but it's, I mean, it sounds so simple, and it sounds like, oh yeah, I'm not stressed anymore.
It's it's kind of big,
Of
no?
course I am from time to time. But when I am, I really see myself, oh yeah, I'm in a really, like, I'm so in a not self mode right now. And I
Mm,
used to operate from that, maybe 80% of my time before, even though I was already meditating, doing yoga, and la 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 la. But there's, yeah, there's really a deeper layer of, it sounds so cliche, but yeah, sensing my own truth, also sensing of, yeah, that's not for me, I let it go, so I don't have FOMO anymore.
love that.
And really deconditioning this, ooh, I have to work, and I'm only good if I'm really exhausted, or if I really like go full on.
Mhm.
And that's really dissolving.
That's beautiful, Marie. Wow. Thank you. I think that's very, very profound. Not so much cliche actually at all,
Yeah.
because yeah, I know from my own journey that the hustling and grinding is never the answer. And I mean, I have seen that shift with you because when we started the certification, you were in a much more hustling state, and now you have let go of all these things and you have found your bliss again, also for the human design and how
Yeah.
much you love it, and you're really owning your passion. You're stepping into this authenticity of like, no, that's what I like. I don't care what other people think about us, like ditching the people pleasing. And again, brings me immense pleasure to
Hmm.
witness that. Now, Looking
Yeah.
back at when you started the certification, obviously you already took a certification several years ago, so you're maybe a little bit more advanced than maybe some others. But how confident do you actually feel sitting down with a chart with a client and giving a reading or taking them on a longer coaching journey?
Yeah, very confident. I mean, I do use human design with all my clients with the caveat who are open for it.
Yeah.
There are some who just don't feel it. And then I don't push it, or who don't feel a resonance. Or yeah, I have to say I'm still like I have to say, of course I'm still looking things up. and and yet I'm surprised by how much I know already. And it's yeah, I feel very confident actually. Just right now we had this update a few weeks ago, and I looked through my charts and genetic matrix of some of my clients and some of my friends,
Hmm.
and it took some time, and I could just see immediately how it resonated, like, and what message was there, what
Hmm.
new message I could, or how it was like more spot on than the one before. And yeah, as I said, I'm still looking things up, especially around the genius coins. I'm still reading some things up. For some, I don't have to do that. But yeah, it's I definitely feel I can give value by just
Yeah.
looking at it. And I always take time to prepare a little bit, and then I have it on the side. And I think the most important thing is that I can trust that what is important in the session, it will come up,
Mhm.
and I know enough. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that because that's obviously my intention. No? We can learn so much about human design. There's so many books out there. We can probably learn human design with AI these days, but I think so many get stuck in never using the knowledge.
Yeah.
You actually go out there, you use it with your clients in your own unique, intuitive way. I mean, that's why I'm doing it because I want to get this magic more out in the world so it can touch more people. And only you can do a reading or a session along with human design, how you can do it. I cannot do it as you can. And I really feel like we need more people that feel that joy and that passion for human design to actually have the courage to do it. So thank you for sharing that.
Can I add something to that? So,
Absolutely.
um, my readings have changed in the way that I used to do a little bit of this cookie cutter, like, okay, you're this type, you're a projector, your profile 1-3, that means this, this means that. Let's talk about the centers. This means that. Da, 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 da. And now I don't even do that anymore. And I always also ask the person, like, what's going on in your life. And recently I had a young, very like 14-year-old girl, and she was sweating, in she was sweating involuntarily in situations that were just stressful to her, and
Hmm.
she couldn't control it. So we took the reading from there, and I didn't even tell her about what a manifestor is and so on, and what her centers meant and so on. But we just then looked at the body graph, and I pointed some things out, and it was more like, hey, how can I be of service? How can I help you? And I don't think, I mean, some people do want to understand everything,
Hmm.
but people actually just want help
Yeah.
in what's bothering them, or they want guidance. But usually they don't need to understand, like, okay, it's because of this gate here and this there. So this nitty gritty, I think that's a mindset I had in the beginning. Like, okay, yeah, or I also, maybe I also had the clients who really went into, oh yeah, but what does this arrow mean? Okay, but now what does this mean
Yeah.
here? But now I almost try to avoid that. And it's also good to, I think, to do the reading just with the what we have in genetic matrix as this client chart, where they don't have like all this confusing information that they then ask, oh, but what does kitchen wet mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I love this so much because information doesn't give us transformation. And obviously, from my journey, and this is why I teach the way I teach, because I noticed that on my own experience with clients. And I love that you're also tuning into this because yeah, people want to know everything, but that's often when we get the least amount of results because we're completely stuck in the head. So it's a much more embodied experience that really is targeted. How can I best help the person? What is of greatest service so that they can actually receive the transformation that they're looking for? So it's so much more impactful on all. It's a win-win everywhere, right? And you don't have to memorize everything. That's not the point of human design anyway. So congratulations on that. I think that's fantastic. Now, if somebody is listening to us right now or watching us and they feel the pull to join, but then they have this like, oh, maybe now's not the right time, or I shouldn't do it. What would you tell them?
Do it. You're at the pulse with this certification. You're really at the pulse of the developments in in regards to human design and true sidereal. So if you feel that that's where you want to go, and you resonate with the, okay, this is actually where the stars are right now, or where they were at the time of my birth, then there's no other place to go for human design.
I love it. And just for clarification, if you only want to do tropical, you get everything as well, right? The only difference in my certification is that you get a different perspective. And for those of you that are really, really interested in, okay, how can I work with a true sidereal chart and perhaps also with both charts, there's very not a one way to do that. You know, it really depends on you and the client, what you resonate with, then that's what you will receive. So,
Yeah, and that's also a conversation we had. I think that the different charts are different person layers
mhm.
of who we are, or who we are to whom, and so on. So, and yeah, whatever is your entry point.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love that. One final question, Marie, and then I let you go. If there's one final wisdom, one little a piece of advice, what do you want to leave the listeners with?
mm. Human design can never, it's never black or white. It's never you must or you shouldn't. And it's never, you never get all the answers in one reading, but it's really a journey of self knowledge and self, I would even say self navigation. And in the end, it's what my teacher and my Kundalini yoga teacher, Guru Jagat, said. She said, in the end, it's just you and you,
Mm.
how you navigate yourself, and that's what you can get out of human design. Not a quick fix, not a okay, yeah, not the quick fix, not the magic pill, but deepening the relationship to yourself. I think that's the most important thing. That's more important than giving readings. That can
Yeah,
come then.
absolutely not. This is also this confirmation that it's we're not here to fix other people, right? Obviously, we always like to help others, but this whole journey, just like you shared as well, you have been going through this own transition. And this is also why I chose it to be 9 months, which is it's like how long it usually takes to have a baby for us women, right? Because I like to go slow. I don't like to rush things. And it's really about your journey. As you change, your reality changes. And you go through your own deconditioning journey. And the more you do that, the more effortless you're gonna put this knowledge out into the world, and you will be automatically of service to others in whatever way or form that is, right? There's so many ways how you can apply human design. So, Marie, thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom with us.
My
Thank you for
pleasure.
your time.
Yeah.
Yes, and I hope you guys really enjoyed listening to Marie. And yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come next. And I'll see you next time. Ciao, everyone.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are really curious now to learn more about the certification, you can find many more details in the show notes of the episode. There's going to be a link, and depending on when you're seeing this, you can either join the waitlist so you will know when the doors are opening, or maybe enrollment will already be open for you. We are targeted to start the next cohort towards the end of October 2025. And if you have any kind of questions, also feel free to reach out to me. And most importantly, this is also an invitation for me to trust yourself. If there's something in your body right now that feels light, that feels expansive, you feel really drawn to this, then I invite you to embark with me and an amazing group of like-minded humans on this 9-month transformative journey of becoming your own human design teacher and thought leader. I really feel that there's so many people that are going to benefit from the way that you talking and using human design and sharing this message far and wide. With that, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm excited to be back with you on the next episode. Ciao.